to the month in the first half of it. On the other hand, the unemployment rate fell to 3.9%, and the household survey, which is really the Labor Department calling households, shows that a lot of people got back to work. 483,000 unemployment decline. That's a lot of people getting back into the workforce. It's not captured in the job gain.
Does that have to do with holiday hiring, or is that just overall back into the market, period?
I think there's some of that, but I also think that a lot of folks, and this just anecdotally looking at the numbers, are working, but maybe not working in the way that you and I are thinking about it. They're either starting their own businesses, they're independent contractors, they're consulting. A lot of folks dropped out of the workforce. You mentioned it at the top. 4.5 million people straight up quit their job in November. Openings fell to 10.6 million. There's a lot of job openings out there, and small businesses are having a very hard time hiring. More than about half of small businesses saying they can't hire enough workers. That's where they're feeling it the most.
Okay, on one hand, yeah, you feel for these small businesses, and you see you can hardly go anywhere anymore. And I'm talking to the UPS store, to the, local deli or whatever, and not see a now hiring sign in the window. It's crazy on that front.
That's right, but those jobs are also paying around minimum wage, sometimes lower than that, so they're not that attractive, and they have a hard time holding people into those positions and promoting them through those positions. So you see a lot of mobility there. Leisure and hospitality, all the great restaurants around your town, having a hard time staying open, hiring enough workers because they feel like they can get better pay somewhere else or do something else instead of exposing themselves or professionally being out there and not making a lot of money in tips because folks aren't dining out as much. So those industries are having a hard time. So is the health care and social assistance industry. A lot of workers there have been burned out from the last year and a half. They're having a hard time with keeping jobs, people employed in that sector as well.
Okay, but when you look at 4.5 million, I can't assume that everybody there has decided, I'm going to go into business for myself, or I've got this new great get-rich-quick scheme or something like that. Where's everybody going if they quit their jobs?
Well, they're either waiting for the fatter pitch. Remember, the savings rate hit an all-time high last year as a lot of those government checks went out. We had the child care tax credit. That was a very big deal. And some folks know since wages are rising and there's competition, especially in some very key industries, they'll wait for a better opportunity to get back into the workforce, plus the uncertainty around Omicron, whether schools are going to go back or not go back, or what's going to happen with their own jobs. Some companies are pushing that return to work date out into the spring. So they're waiting around and looking for something better to do in the meantime. Maybe they're quitting and finding that they can make more money on the side.
I'm so glad you brought up the schools portion of that, because I started thinking, as we get into this new school semester, you already had, Canada that already said, hey, for a week or something like that, I think it was Ontario up there, said, we're not sending our kids back to school because of Omicron. And then other districts have said, oh yeah, we're just going to do a day or two here and there of remote learning until we make sure that there's no big surge. If you're a parent, if you're a two-person household, two parents in the household, one of you's probably got to decide, I've got to stop working for a while until we figure this out, or I've got to take some sort of leave. So maybe they would love to get into the workforce. They just can't right now because they don't know what to do with their kids.
Yeah, that's a big part of it as well. Plus uncertainty as we go into the second semester here, or the second half of the school year here, about what's going to happen with schools in the next month or two as this virus continues to spread rampantly. So a lot of uncertainty, and why not wait around while you figure it out? So many things have been disrupted in the past year and a half. If you can, and people have saved money, and not everybody, but people at certain income levels have been able to save, you can do it. Why not wait for a better opportunity rather than disrupting your life? There's a lot of that going on, but there's some disconnect in the labor market in general because the private sector is hiring, and not that many people are filing for unemployment, and that rate keeps going down. So Americans getting back to work, just not in the way that you and I are thinking about it.
All right. Caleb, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, see you later. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you. That is Caleb Silver. He's editor-in-chief of Investopedia.com. That may be the case. And if you've come up with some get-rich-quick scheme that you haven't shared with me, I thought we were friends, I work in radio. I'm always up for a good pitch. This is KFI and KOSC HD2 Los Angeles. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. Jeff Fogg, good morning.
That was well done, Jennifer. Very good. Good morning. And good morning to you. Now, once again, we're circling over the 5134 interchange coming out of Burbank. Be heads up now. If you're South 5 coming through Burbank Boulevard, perhaps, right down at this is always a busy place. It's either South 5, or South 5 to the East 134. There's a flare pattern set up on the right shoulder and in the gore point. It looks like something terrible is going on. It's mostly to the shoulder, so Just be careful. Going south 5 to the east 134, you can do it, but just be slow going through. It's quite a distraction. Everything's open. Even north, a little bit of a right shoulder south before Colorado, so not too bad. Now, we're going to go up to the Newhall Pass. There's something going on there. The South 5, South 14 merge is getting real slow on the downhill side going down towards the 210. I'll check it out for you and let you know what's going on. Don't go away. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Fogg, KFI in the sky.
Your electric bill keeps going up. The cost of solar has gone way down. It's time to go solar with local veteran-owned Semper Solaris now and get all the benefits. Here's veteran, founder, and owner Kelly Shawhan.
In the military, when you give your word, it just is your word. Work hard and keep your word. That's what we do every single day. I've heard about Semper Solaris and found out that they were veterans. I knew they were going to do the job right.
Add Tesla Powerwall and be ready for blackouts. We get the job done with esprit de corps and honor. Semper Solaris offers new heating and air conditioning systems with a lifetime warranty and new roofs with a 50-year warranty. We hire vets and give back to the community with our Semper Cares initiative. Go solar American style with Semper Solaris. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2023. Get the federal 26% solar and battery tax credit. Call 877-211-5591 or visit sempersolaris.com. 26% federal tax credit based on eligibility. On approved credit. Consult your tax advisor. Cannot be combined with any other offers. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Expires 1/31/2022. CSLB number 978152.
More than 1 in 3 people will face cancer in their lifetime. Unfortunately, fear can stop you from getting your cancer screening, but it won't stop cancer. Early detection can save your life. Don't wait for symptoms to appear to act. Cancer screening is safe, effective, and accessible for everyone, including free or low-cost screening programs. Go to cancerscreeninfo.com right now for free screening resources and recommendations from the American Cancer Society. Don't wait. Early detection can save your life. Go to cancerscreeninfo.com today. cancerscreeninfo.com.
Socal weather from KFI. Partly cloudy today with highs in the mid-50s to the upper 60s. More of the same for tomorrow and then a few degrees warmer on Sunday. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the News starts now.
Handle on the news. Handle on the news. And now, here's Bill Handel.
Okay, guys, here we are. Handle here. Works on Fridays. Oh, there's a microphone. Jennifer works on Fridays because she is our go-to in case of an emergency. She actually becomes our radio station if something caves here. So there's Jennifer.
A little pressure.
Yeah, just a little bit. There we go.
You know, I have to, here's a little inside baseball for you. There's one button, absolutely one button that connects me to the station. Now you realize I have a dog that's over 3 feet tall. If she were to come into the studio, she could easily whack that. So if ever you just hear, somebody call me and just, or text me,
Right.
Dolly, and you'll know.
People will think that's you and Scott.
Oh
you know?
my God, they better handle only you.
No, that's not true. There are plenty of people that would make, is it fair to say, that mistake?
Oh my God.
All right, let's just say hello to the crowd. Jennifer, good morning.
I
And Wayne, good morning.
Good morning, you perv.
Well, I could go on and on with that one. You know, they both went, they met in missionary school.
Oh my God.
Hey, hey!
Why?
Tyler and Morgan.
Oh,
All right.
my God.
Good morning, Morgan.
He was a rancher. She was a cowgirl.
Oh, that's good, too.
I mean, don't open doors
Right.
you're not prepared to walk through.
Met in a sex education class where they brought in a cow, a show and tell.
Okay,
Let's,
all
Are we
right.
done?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. What a great start.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's Friday, so I have an idea that we got a lot of fun topics today on Friday. One of them being how hot tubs and fertility rates connect.
Oh.
And I mean for real. And I'll, having been in the fertility or infertility business for a very, very long time through my surrogacy program, obviously the question of fertility was an important one. And there is Tyler. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Okay. I can do a whole thing on sperm right now, medically.
What are you
Not
doing?
jokes. I'm telling you, I'm just thinking through what 20-something years of infertility work has taught me. All right.
There's a reason your brain is locked in a skull covered with skin, because the things that go on in there aren't supposed to come out.
Handle on the news with Jennifer Jones-Lee, Wayne, and me. Lead story. Well, that horrific story that Jennifer reported on yesterday, the LA County Fire Department fireman who died battling a fire has been identified. Jonathan Flagler. It was I believe a home that was on fire, and he died of injuries sustained fighting that fire. He's been a firefighter for 21 years, and he leaves behind a wife and 2 teenage sons.
Yeah, they said he was overcome by smoke, and he put out a mayday call, and his fellow firefighters were able to pull him out of the house attic where he was working yesterday, but he later died after they pulled him out.
Yeah, a quick question about smoke inhalation is, and I'm not much in the firefighting world, when a firefighter enters a building that is on fire, do they not wear oxygen gear? Or some do not?
I don't know.
I don't either. But in any case, he certainly was killed on duty. And what we're going to see is at the funeral, you are going to see thousands of firefighters from all over the country coming to honor Jonathan Flagler. So, and it is heart-wrenching, because usually firefighters don't die. I'd love to know the stats between cops and firefighters. And I'm sure police officers die at a much higher rate in the line of duty.
Well, speaking of cops and firefighters, you've got more than 800 LAPD and LAFD employees who are off duty because of COVID. And we've been talking about this. So we've talked about the ambulance response times are longer and that sort of thing. Well, it's not necessarily because these employees didn't get the vaccine or whatever the case may be. It's they're sick with COVID. And it's obviously a ripple effect.
Yeah, it's everybody's being affected.
Yeah.
This Omicron. The only good news about Omicron, if you do want to see a silver lining in it, which there is it seems to be the effects are milder. Hospitalizations don't occur as much per capita. But per capita, the numbers are much bigger because simply more people are getting it. So if you have, let's say, 10% chance of hospitalization or serious symptoms, and you have 1,000 people, that's 100 people. And if you have 100,000 people that can't catch COVID, then you're talking about 10,000 people that are sick. But if you get sick, symptoms are less severe, hospitalizations go down, and deaths certainly decrease. And that's assuming, then we go back to vaccination, but I don't want to talk about that because I'm on my soapbox and getting too soapy.
Well, let's move on to talk about how the schools are also struggling to stay open because of this Omicron surge. Some districts had to shut down some schools. Other districts are furiously handing out rapid results tests to families. And it's affecting every sector of the government and the private sector as well.
And with schools, it's a little different because everybody on both sides or on 3 sides of the question, vaccination, no vaccination, school safety, everybody wants those kids to go back to in-class learning. The question is how dangerous, and those views differ.
And I just want to point out, too, that starting today and tomorrow, the LA School District is offering at-home rapid COVID tests for students K through 12. Parents can go to these pickup locations that they've got on the district website, and you can pick these up. Each kid gets two tests.
Yeah, another story before we take a break is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's coming to LA. Yeah, I know yesterday that the big headlines were that the NFL was looking at an alternate location. Well, they do that every time. But the California officials say they have zero intention of losing the Super Bowl, and they are going straight ahead with everything planned at SoFi Stadium for February 13th.
It's because the money making aspects of the Super Bowl are astronomical, and if a city loses it, I mean, that's just crazy. Especially when you have a brand new stadium that has to do. I mean, there's a million reasons. But as you reported yesterday, Jen, there's always a backup plan, and they are looking at probably. It looks like the number one backup plan is the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, this is Texas, where they will require a test for going into the stadium. But the difference is the test has to show you're positive before you actually are allowed in the stadium.
No.
Hey, let's close out the segment just to wrap it up and continue what you said, Bill, about all the money involved in hosting a Super Bowl. Super Bowl looking for 500 crew members to work the halftime show.
I think this would be fun.
I think it would be a ton of, a ton of work and long hours, but also probably quite a feather in your cap. The show will be Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar. At least 4 of those performers are going to have to drastically alter their lyrics, I imagine.
Yeah, I would guess. But that's a hell of a lineup when you think about this.
Yeah.
One of the things about Super Bowl halftime shows is those are extraordinary shows with extraordinary people that are performing. All right, guys, we are, and this is, I always get confused with numbers on the Super Bowl, so we'll just call it Super Bowl LVI. Okay?
Well, that's kind of what they call it. 56.
Ah, 56. It looks that way, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back. More Handle on the news when we return. Let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Well, job growth is coming in way below expectations. Officials say just 199,000 jobs were added in December. The Supreme Court will take up the Biden administration's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. The court will hear oral arguments today in 2 challenges. And lawmakers are remembering those who died on the January 6th Capitol attack. House Speaker Pelosi spoke at a prayer vigil on the Capitol steps and led a moment of silence in memory of those who lost their lives. We've got your drive on the 170 with the Kfi in the sky next.
At Court Furniture Outlet, you'll find new looks and new savings on everything you need to brighten up your home or make your workplace more comfortable. And the best part is that it's all in stock and ready for immediate delivery, so no waiting. Now, during Court Furniture Outlet's New Year, New Savings event, you'll save on a huge selection of upholstery, including new powered reclining sectionals, available in 2 colors, only $14.99. Italian leather sofas and sleepers, dining sets, bedroom sets, and mattresses. Plus great deals on office furniture, like sit-to-stand desks from $3.99. And all year-end closeout deals have been extended. Come in today and discover why Court Furniture Outlet has been the secret destination of designers, home stagers, and business professionals for over 40 years. With locations in Glendale on Central, in Corona at the 91 in McKinley, and Fountain Valley on Euclid and the 405. Check them out on Yelp or go to CourtFurnitureOutlet.com. That's CORTFurnitureOutlet.com.
At In-N-Out, our hamburgers are made with the highest quality ingredients, made fresh and by hand, made with a smile, and made to order just for you.
Socal Weather from KFI. We've got a sunny day ahead. A little bit cooler today, though. We'll start out partly cloudy and quite a bit of fog, according to Jeff Baugh. Highs today will be in the mid-50s to the upper 60s. This report is brought to you by Owen Patterson and Owen. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. We're taking your drive on the 170.
Well, you betcha. Back to that fog for a minute. We were just trying to get to downtown Los Angeles. Looks like the opening scenes of Blade Runner down there. The fog is coming through the buildings. It's really cool. Back to the 170. There was a problem. I'm happy to tell you it's all gone, but going south 170, coming away from the 5 down to the east 134 transition. Always a murky kind of place, but it's open, no problem. Now, if you continue east over towards the 5, there is a problem going south 5 to south 5 or south 5 to east 134 again. A lot of flares. It's mostly to the Gore Point and shoulder, so you'll be okay. Quickly to Commerce now, South 710, excuse me, around Washington, just south of the pod. There's something going on there. We're just going to work some CHP, so be careful. And right now, as I speak to you, we're traveling northbound, coming up over the 118. Everything I'm looking at is good, but something coming out of the Newhall Pass does not look good. It's real jammed up there. More coming up. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Fogg, AFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is Leland Smith, owner of Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC. You might find this hard to believe, but the thing that makes me the happiest is when my customers' heaters don't break down. That's right, we love not fixing heaters. We're first and foremost a maintenance company. We catch problems before they happen, when they're tiny and inexpensive. We only charge $88 for a comprehensive precision tune-up and professional cleaning, and our goal is to catch every single problem and make your heater last longer and run more efficiently. That's why we even guarantee our tune-ups. If your unit breaks down this season, we'll refund your $88 or credit it towards the repair. That's how serious we are about not fixing heaters. Call Service Champions right now to schedule your $88 tune-up at 833-777-7777 or find us online at servicechampions.com.
Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, AC, and good feed for free.
With school back in session, there's plenty to worry about. CalHope can help with free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
San Manuel Casino is changing its name and changing the game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel, with 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new high-limit room for 5 elevated gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants, and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly.
We've weathered this pandemic by doing our part to protect each other. So let's stick to what's proven to keep us safer from COVID-19 and its variants, like masking up in public indoor settings, getting tested before and after traveling and gathering, and staying home if you feel sick. Let's keep our immunity strong. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 833-422-4255 to find a vaccine or booster near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
At Whole Foods Market, save on some of your produce favorites. Get organic Honey Crisp apples for $2.99 a pound through January 11th, while supplies last. Plus, Prime members save an extra 10%. See more on the Whole Foods Market app.
Wesley had IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Coming after my house, my car. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
Wesley called Optima Tax Relief.
Oh, they were great people. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters Association at this station.
NeoU is the game-changing fitness app with real-time coaching, daily live workouts with friends, and thousands of on-demand classes like strength, boot camp, yoga, and more. And right now, NeoU has an offer too good to miss. Get a 50% lifetime discount and pay just $3.99 per month when you sign up by January 31st. That's a lifetime 50% discount on your NeoU subscription, plus a 60-day free trial to kickstart your 2022 fitness routine. Get started now at neoufitness.com. That's neoufitness.com.
I'm Stephen Rennell, the host of the Meat Eater podcast and the Netflix original series Meat Eater. As a hunter and wildlife enthusiast, the question comes up, how can you justify killing and eating animals that you love and protect? Well, that's part of what we wrangle with on the Meat Eater podcast, along with broader and often funnier discussions about living an outdoor life in the modern world. We insist on sharing challenging opinions to inspire thought and action. Listen to the Meat Eater podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
There's red, blue, and then there's you. You're a free thinker and believe the best idea should win, no matter whose idea that is. At Kfi Am 640, we give you all the news you need and a variety of opinions. You make up your own mind, beholden to no one. Live, local, and independent, KFI AM 640 is made for independent thinkers like you.
We're back, everybody. Bill Handel here on a Thursday morning, January the 7th. And you know, yesterday didn't turn out to be what yesterday was supposed to be turning out to be. We didn't have those mass demonstrations. We didn't have any turmoil. Now, we're also hearing chatter that it is going to come. And yesterday would have had the most impact, but also yesterday the authorities were the most geared up for any kind of a demonstration. So now, the architects, if you want to call them architects of these various demonstrations and insurrections, if you will. Not that overtaking state houses is going to happen. Now you're going to just see mass rallies. It's a game of chicken between authorities, the public, and the organizers and the followers of these rallies. All right, back we go. More Handel on the news. Jennifer Jones-Lee, Wayne, and me.
Well, if you ever watch shows like The Last Picture Show or Paper Moon, the director of those movies, Peter Bogdanovich, has died at the age of 82. I always remember him, and in this story specifically, the ascot wearing. That was it. I always remember him in his glasses with his ascot. And he died at his home in L.A., and he was part of what they considered the new generation of New Hollywood, in a way. And so he had Targets, and after that it was The Last Picture Show, followed with the, let's see, What's Up, Doc, Paper Moon.
Yeah, he's, you know, fascinating part about him and Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola and others. How do you get to be a director? Everybody has a different story. You know, how do you get to be a talk show host, for example, in any station? Everybody has a different story. And when it comes to directing, there's some great stories. For example, David Lean, who directed films like, I don't know, Lawrence of Arabia, fairly well-known films. He came out of the film editing world. Peter Bogdanovich is a weird one. He came out of being a journalist and a critic, and ran the Museum of Modern Art. We're talking about, or at least the film division. So it's just fascinating how they get there. I visited a set maybe a couple of years ago and talked to the director. And I said, how do you get to be? And he goes, well, in my case, I started as a student director of student plays. And it's just, it's fascinating. It really is. If I ever write an autobiography, which I never will because it's just not that interesting, it will be titled How to Be a Talk Show Host by Being a Jerk. And no, that's true, actually, from day one. All right, let's move on.
All right, officials are continuing to tally the damage from that Colorado wildfire. They say they're up to at least $513 million in damage, almost 1,100 homes and structures destroyed.
You know, the number of homes are destroyed. If you're only talking in the hundreds, that's not even news anymore. Jennifer, you've been a news person for a very long time. Do you remember when 4 homes were news? Because it was always in outlying areas where there were no structures.
Yeah.
Now hundreds of homes is no news.
What was crazy to me about this particular fire was normally when you cover a wildfire and you go back in after the fire has burned, in a neighborhood, you'll see the house on the left burned, but the house across the street did not. And then the house 2 houses down is still standing, but then 3 houses are not.
Right.
This was entire neighborhood levels, and that was just, you could see then the way that the wind, you were talking about it, how it was just pushing sideways.
Yeah, it was that
It's just
strong.
burning everything in its path. It was crazy.
And we talk about entire neighborhoods going down. How about entire towns being wiped out, like Paradise?
Right.
It's, we're in a different world, unfortunately, when it comes to fires. And the insurance companies, you wonder why your fire policy is so insanely expensive? Jennifer, you talked about your mom and dad that live in a fire area.
Yep, they got dropped, they got picked back up, but had to pay double.
Yeah. My homeowner's insurance is basically 2.5 times what it was 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy.
And they had a heck of a time finding somebody to pick them back up.
Yeah, it's...
Because they're in the middle of the wilderness.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Which is why you want to be in the middle of humanity. It's also the wilderness, but at least you're surrounded by the people.
Well, LA's December. Do you want to do this really fast because it's, weather news, or do you want to wait?
Let's wait.
Because I could probably conjure up a snowpack report.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Not now. We'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, this is KFI AM 640. Now let's check in with Jennifer.
Fans hoping to watch the Golden Globes are out of luck. The annual award show this Sunday will not be live streamed. The winners will be announced on social media and on the Hollywood Foreign Press Association website. NBC dropped the award show last year over a lack of diversity among voters. The chief of staff for the LA County DA, George Gascon, is suing the Azusa Police Department for violating his civil rights when he was arrested last month. Cops pulled over a car driven by Joseph Iniguez's fiancée after she made an illegal U-turn. The officer says he arrested Iniguez because he was intoxicated and interfered with a traffic stop. Officers later determined that his fiancée's blood alcohol content was below the legal limit to drive. A congressman representing South Orange County says the first anniversary of the Capitol riots may have passed, but the demand for justice has not.
No one is above the law.
Democratic Congressman Mike Levin says 5 police officers lost their life and more than 100 officers were severely injured as a result of the violence at the Capitol.
The Department of Justice is engaged with over 700 different individuals and working to prosecute each of them to the fullest extent of the law.
More than 24 people from Southern California already face charges, including trespassing, conspiring against the U.S., conspiring to disrupt an election, and inflicting bodily injury on law enforcement. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Iran has displayed 3 ballistic missiles at an outdoor prayer esplanade in central Tehran. The missiles can target things up to 620 miles away. Diplomats in Vienna are trying to revive the 2015 deal to limit Iran's nuclear weapons. Former President Trump pulled the U.S. from the agreement. Russia has sent troops to help support the president of Kazakhstan's deal with mass protests. ABC's Patrick Revel says there's been intense gunfire in the country's biggest city.
Kazakhstan's president has said the situation in the country has stabilized, but that what he called a counter-terrorism operation is ongoing. He said he's ordered the army to shoot to kill without warning.
Kazakhstan's government says the Russian troops will not be taking part in combat. And consumer prices in the 19 countries that use the euro have hit a record of high of 5% in December. That's compared with a year earlier. The EU says higher energy prices lead the way. Inflation's now at the highest level in the Eurozone since 1997. From the Southern California Toyota dealers traffic center, let's go places. Let's go to the 5.
You betcha. As promised last time around now, if you were listening, taking the South 14 or the South 5 towards the Newhall Pass was indeed a problem. Actually, it still is, but it's over to the shoulder. That's the good news. So, yes, indeed, the 14-5 southbound merge will be a little slow on the downhill side, but you'll be okay. And after that, the South 405 across the valley into West LA, that's looking exceptionally good. So far, it's so good. And the eastbound drive coming out of Calabasas over to Encino, we're all good. A little bit of a problem going towards Seal Beach now. South 405 approaching the 605. I'll follow up on that for you coming up. A little bit of a delay there. Be careful. Injured in an accident. Visit Superwoman at superlawyer.com. Jeff Bogg, KFI in the sky.
The LA Kings were defeated by the Nashville Predators. The score 4-2. Kings continue to hover right around the middle of the Pacific Division. The Ducks-Detroit Red Wings match was over before it started, postponed until Sunday after 4 more Anaheim players were added to the team's COVID protocols. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
Life is stressful. Oh, boy, isn't it? Just different kinds of stress. So what helps? Well, one of the major helpful parts of life is just sleeping well. And this is where the folks at Sleep Number come in. Sleep Number beds, and I've been sleeping on a Sleep Number for over 14 years, gives you the great sleep that, frankly, we all need. You customize, adjust each side of the bed to your ideal firmness, comfort, support. That firmness level that you can change constantly if you want is your Sleep Number, and mine is 100. I like a firm mattress. And right now, through January 17th, the lowest price of the season, save up to $1,000 on Sleep Number 360 smart beds. You only get them at Sleep Number stores or sleepnumber.com. 30 locations in Southern California, including Long Beach, Moreno Valley, Brea, South Bay, and of course you can go to sleepnumber.com to purchase or just more information. Sleep Number is the official sleep and wellness partner of the Los Angeles Rams. Visit sleepnumber.com.
Socal weather from KFI. Partly cloudy today with highs in the mid-50s to the upper 60s. More of the same tomorrow, then a few degrees warmer on Sunday. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Contractor license 1047-781. Zach, are you still opening clogged drains for just $80?
You bet I am. And if the house has a ground level drain clean out, we'll run a snake down there and clear it out quicker than a hound dog after a rabbit.
What's a snake?
It's a 30-foot long cable that you can snake down into a sewer line and clear the blockage.
Does it work every time?
9 times out of 10.
What about the 10th time?
Well, it could be a grease trap or a toilet clog, or maybe they don't have a ground level clean out. That's a whole different deal.
But 9 times out of 10 is just $80?
9 out of 10, $80.
What made you decide to do it for free if the customer has Sadie Guard dog protection?
Sadie talked me into it.
You can talk to dogs?
You heard what I said about the hound dog and the rabbit, didn't you?
Zach, there's not another company in America that's offering all the air conditioning and heating and plumbing benefits that we're offering for just $14.95 a month.
Ain't nobody else got a dog like Sadie.
You make a good point. GOE-TTL.
Our plumbers are handsome and they don't smell.
This is your moment to stand strong for your family, because your loved one in the military stands strong for our country. Paid Family Leave can now provide military families with up to 8 weeks partial wage replacement to help arrange for child care while your loved one is deployed, to be there to dry tears, to be there to provide reassurances, and to be there for the moments that truly matter. This is your moment. Take it. To learn more, visit CaliforniaPaidFamilyLeave.com. Moments matter.
IntelliLoan. Borrow smart.
Do you love cars? Come see Sweet Rides for a great cause at the Slave to Nothing Foundation Cruisin' to Freedom Car Show and Cruise, supported by In-N-Out Burger. All money raised helps end human trafficking. It's Saturday, January 15th, 3 to 7 p.m. at the OC Fair and Event Center. Don't miss it.
For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules. KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
Good morning, everybody. Bill Handel here on a Thursday morning, January 7th. And Morgan, you got to put the 7th up on the board because we're still at the 6th. I don't know the date until it's written on my whiteboard. God, am I a pro. I have this stuff just totally ironed out, don't I? All right, back we go. More Handel on the news with Jennifer Jones-Lee, Wayne Resnick, and me.
Remember how in November we were saying, where's the rain? We have no rain this month. This is horrible. Well, here comes December, and this past December was the wettest for downtown LA and most parts of the region since 2010. In some cases, we got 400 to 500% of normal. So for downtown, they got 9.5 inches of rain, which is the most in about a decade, and 7 inches above normal.
Wow. It's so wet, I heard Cardi B has filed a lawsuit.
Oh,
and this, you would think because we're so above normal right now, especially the snowpack, it's not making much of a dent in the drought. I mean, it's helping, but it's incremental more than anything else. We need years of this.
Okay, wait.
It's time for another Bill Hendel Show Snowpack Report.
Statewide, our percent of normal for this year is 144%. And in Southern California, we are actually at 150%.
Right,
for this time of year.
So what exactly, number-wise, is the snowpack? Because people want to know.
Let's see. Well, this is what they're saying. Out of the 100 stations reporting statewide, we have 16 inches of snow water equivalent. Does that mean 16 inches? I guess.
I don't know. It sounds good.
Okay, we're going to go with that.
Yeah.
5. Oh no, I ruined it. Damn it. I didn't want to give the number first. Let me try it again. Just forget you heard that number. Okay? The U.S. had the highest number of deaths from rabies last year in a decade. 5. And when you get into the details, just because there's no reason to be concerned about a rabies scare, when you look at the 5 deaths, 3 of them were idiots who wouldn't take the shots. One guy, because he's a general anti-vaxxer, 80-year-old guy, got bitten, wouldn't take the shots because he doesn't like any vaccines. And then there were 2 people in different parts of the country that didn't get the shots because they didn't think they had been bitten by a bat, but both of them had been bitten by a bat.
Right.
And then a 4th death was a guy who had an undiagnosed immune system problem that made the shots less effective for him. And finally, the 5th person was bitten by a rabid dog in the Philippines and died after he came back to the U.S., which means he didn't get any treatment right after the bite happened.
And you have
so every one of these deaths, there's an asterisk about why they ended up dead from rabies. And also, 5 is the biggest number in 10 years.
Yeah, you're talking about minuscule numbers, but 60,000 people a year are treated for potential rabies. If you have a doubt, if you're bitten by a squirrel, if you're bitten by a bat, let's say you work at Kentucky Fried Bats, and they're and as you put the bat in, let's say it's still around and it bites you, or a dog that you don't know, you got to take the rabies shot. And it's 5 shots in your stomach, and it's no fun.
I don't think it's that anymore. I don't think it's the shots in your stomach anymore.
I think it is. You can look that up.
I'm going to.
Yeah. In fact, where's my phone? I can call Siri on that. I don't know where my phone is. Okay.
Well, it's in front of you since you're FaceTime.
Oh, that's a good point.
Okay, it's on the phone.
Oh, God, I'm looking around for my phone, and it's in front of my face.
It's
award-winning talk show host. What?
According to CDC, the rabies series now is a regimen of 4 1-milliliter doses administered intramuscularly.
All right, it's a shot. Yeah, because it's a normal shot. Okay, instead of 5, it's 4. Oh, I stand corrected. Thank you. I wasn't saying it to correct you. I was saying it because the fear that people have. When I was a kid, that was the thing. Oh, my God, rabies shots. It's a needle the size of a canoe that they stick into the most tender part of your belly over and over and over. And it isn't quite like that. Yeah.
All right, the FAA has issued some fresh warnings about the 5G service that they say could still disrupt flights, saying there were big differences between U.S. aviation protections and those that were used in France. Because earlier this week we talked about AT&T and Verizon saying that they were going to back off for a couple of weeks unveiling their 5G because of worries that it would somehow, cause flight disruptions. Well, the FAA says buffer zones in France cover 96 seconds of flight, while the safety protections around the U.S. only protect 20 seconds of flight. But it said the temporary U.S. lower power levels will be 2.5 times higher than France. So they say if there's a possibility of a risk to the flying public, they're obligated to put a pause on the activity until they can prove that it's safe.
I guess that makes sense, because if there is good evidence, or at least anticipated issues here that are legitimate, what are you going to do? How do you know that there is an issue until it's Sunday? Then you go, okay, maybe there's a problem here.
And on one hand, if you're AT&T and Verizon, and you think gosh, this is, you know, and hands-on adopters really want to roll this 5G out. Could there even be the slightest possibility that something bad happens?
좋아해, 예, 있어요.
You know, be put on hit for it. And this is a Wrangler action for that frequency. And Verizon paid $80 billion for that frequency. So, you know, the government saying, oh, we're not going to really do it. We're going to hold off. No. We're talking about a small area. Yes, even France, which is being quoted to as being, I guess, the most populous. The buffer zone where you don't want to have